So I had to go to the doctor the other day. And I tell you, when I go to the doctor, I am armored up. They got questions for me, I got questions for them. I walk in there, I'm immediately looking for plants. Because, like I said, any doctor office that got dead plants, I'm running. I'm running. But, you know, I go in there and I try to be prepared. And mainly prepared for the questions that they're gonna ask. So I get in there, have my vital signs taken. Blood pressure was like high, 164 over something, she said. I was like, oh, that's unusual. She was like, oh, your blood pressure is so high. She was like, let me get the manual one and try it that way. Sometime they be off. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, you go get that manual one because I assure you my blood pressure is not that high. Plus, I just came in there, made sure I didn't eat anything, didn't drink anything because I want accurate data. So she gets the manual one and, oh, it then went down almost 40 points there. She was like, oh, sometimes they don't read right, da 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 da. Then the doctor comes in. The doctor goes over all my blood work and everything seems to be in order. And she's like, well, I got to ask you a bunch of questions. I'm seeing how this is your first appointment with me. I said, that's okay. I have a lot of questions I want to ask you as well. She started out with the big question. Anybody in your family have cancer? Act like I didn't hear. She was like, ma'am, do anybody in your family have cancer? I said, not that I know of. I said, how about your family? Anybody in your family have cancer? And she kind of looked like I looked. I'm here about me. Not a lineage of disease. She said, okay, how about your parents? Are your parents living? I said, no, both of my parents are deceased. I said, do you have living relatives? And she kind of smiled, like, okay, I see where this is going. she said, she said, is there a history of high blood pressure? I said, not that I'm aware of. She was like, what about diabetes? Is there a history of diabetes? I said, I'm not aware of any history of diabetes. She just went on and on and on, asking all these questions about relatives' history of disease. And I started asking her questions. Because she was like, well, your levels are okay, but down the road, da 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 da. She was just trying to give me a little history of what could happen. So I said to her, I said, well, if all of this has the possibility of happening, what can I do organically to prevent any of this? And that's when she got the saying, you can meditate, you can do yoga, you can do all these great things. And in the end, I tell you, I didn't feel like, because I didn't have a lot of issues, that the level of attention, and I might have been a little bit more sarcastic, but the level of care seemed to change. Seemed to change like that. And I share this really with you because when you go to these appointments, to the hospital, I first always recommend having someone go with you. Even if it's a routine appointment, and you don't even have to be elderly for this, I would highly recommend that you never go alone, that you have someone there with you. That matters more than we probably know. And the second thing is make sure you ask questions. Make sure you understand how this connects to that. Inquire about organic, alternative ways of treating whatever you're dealing with. And ask them questions. You're not there just to share what your experience, your disease. And once you've done that, that's it. And you just sit back and let them regurgitate what it is you need to do or medications you need to take. So just get a little smarter, a little wiser when you go, you know. And if it's something you don't understand or something you're unsure of, ask questions. And have that person that you trust be your second set of ears in there. All right, just want to share that with you. All right, have a good one.